From IDF captain to rising political star to powerful government minister, then to convicted drug trafficker and Iranian spy. The saga of Gonen Segev continues with a new twist. For the last few days, Segev's attorneys have admitted Segev was working with Iranian intelligence and met repeatedly in Iran with his handlers. But they've been arguing he was actually trying to become a double agent while in exile to spy on Iran for Israel so he could have his life and his disgraced reputation restored back home. There is now some evidence his efforts were there to let Israeli officials know what he was doing. That could make a treason conviction, even a spying for the enemy conviction, very difficult. Our senior defense correspondent, Shai Ben-Ari, is with us in studio. Shai, so it's basically there's this new report saying it wasn't just Segev in his own mind saying, you know what, I'm going to become a top secret super agent, double agent. There's some evidence he reached out to people in Israel to let them know what he was up to.
Right, that's a report in Yediot Ahronot, one of the main newspapers here, that say that there is some evidence to support the idea that Segev notified somebody in the security establishment of his contacts with Iranian agents or officials. That may be true, but it doesn't really mean that the double agent operation was sanctioned by Israeli security authorities or by Shin Bet or by Mossad or anybody. It just simply doesn't work that way. You can't, even if you let somebody know, it doesn't mean you can travel to Iran and try to turn the Iranian foreign minister or anything like that. I'm not saying that that's what happened.
But isn't that clearly then a black eye for the Israeli establishment? That he made a phone call, it wasn't followed up. He didn't go to Iran once, he went at least twice.
Yeah. It could end up looking bad. We'll have to see. This is very initial in terms of the investigation. But when you talk about what was actually attempted here, again, if you decide to carry out a double agent operation, you don't have to simply pick up a telephone. Obviously, Gonen Segev...
The postcard has been more intensive than that.
Right. After Gonen Segev, who was a minister already and convicted of drug smuggling, you can't really blame anyone for not taking him seriously and then just brushing it off and not necessarily following up. I think that's understandable. He's, by several accounts, not a very credible person, not someone to be taken seriously. The fact that he managed to end up in Iran is a very serious matter. He could have been abducted and held for ransom and have been another hostage similar to the Elchanan Tenenbaum case. He put Israel in a very dangerous or potentially dangerous situation.